Syndrome, or ITBS. So, what is ITBS, or Iliotibial Band Syndrome? And let's look at what is this condition, why is it relevant to you, and how can it affect your spinal and back pain as well, and what role does it play in your everyday life. So, as an executive mom, your days are filled with activities that keep you on the move or on your toes, from managing high stress meetings or high stake meetings to running after your little ones. You are always on your move, and this dynamic lifestyle can put you at risk for conditions such as iliotibial band syndrome. Now, in this video, let's understand more about this condition and how, because you can understand it better, you can obviously manage the symptoms, and you can manage them effectively, and you can still maintain your active lifestyle. So today's video, we will just talk about what is ITBS and how does it happen, and it will give you an insight into this problem if you have it. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about some strategies, some easy strategies to manage this condition. All right. So before we get into the topic for today, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck and nerve pain. I also talk about joint pain. I do all of this without taking away a big chunk of your time because, hey, we're moms, we're busy people, right? So I give you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modifications, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain journey. All right, going back to iliotibial band syndrome. Now, iliotibial band itself, this is a fascia or a thick fibrous tissue that runs from the outside of your hip joint. I'll just explain you how you can locate your hip joint, but it runs from the outside of your thigh, from your hip joint to the outside of your knee joint. So if you bend your knees, there's this line which joins your thigh and the leg. That is basically your knee joint. And your hip joint is, if you look at the seam of your pants, so the upper edge of the seam of your pants, that is your hip joint. So you have to give me just 1 second and I will be back. Okay, this is because my kids are back from school and I don't want them coming into the video because I won't be able to focus. All right, sorry about that. So we were talking about the ITB the fascia itself. So when there is an inflammation or there is some problem coming, there is some pain in this ITB fascia, or the iliotibial band as it is called, then it can manifest as pain around your hip joint, around your knee joint, and all the way along from your hip joint to your knee joint along the outer thigh. Now, typically, it can happen otherwise also, but typically ITBS is an overuse injury, which means it results from repetitive movement or motions such as running, cycling, or even prolonged walking. So there can be other factors as well, but this is the one that is most important. So if you have outer thigh pain and you've been doing, say, you've been training for a marathon, you've been walking a lot, say you are you just out and about cycling a lot, and you get this outer thigh pain, especially when you're doing that movement or right after, you can think about ITBS as being a problem. Now, what are the other things, other factors because of which ITBS can happen? One is if you are a runner, say you don't have proper training habits, or say a lack of warm-up of cool down, these can also predispose you to ITB pain. Or if you have uneven leg length, so anatomical issues, uneven leg length in toeing feet, you have flat feet or muscle imbalances around your lower limbs, that is your thigh, hip, knee, etc., that can cause excessive strain on the ITB, and of course it can lead to pain in the ITB. Poor postures, such as sitting habits, like if you are one of those who sit for a very long period of time, one leg tucked underneath you, so, or you're sitting in that lotus position, which is a good position, but if you do that for hours at an end, yes, it can strain your ITB. So it's not the only reason it'll happen, but it is one of the factors that will predispose you towards outer thigh pain or ITBS. So there are a couple more. And these are the main ones. Now, this pain I said was, which I explained to you about the ITBS, the pain of ITBS will be between your hip and your knee joint on the outer side of your thigh. However, it can also travel up into your bottom or your buttocks. Now, what happens is, because your hip joint is closely related to your lumbar spine, because of the pelvis, where the femur bone or the thigh bone is attached, and of course it's attached to the pelvic area, and your lower back is closely aligned with the pelvis. Now, when you have ITBS, it is possible that it creates tension up towards your buttock or your gluteal muscles, and that can give rise to imbalances in the area. It can give rise to lower back pain as well. So if you are one of those who sits for very long hours, especially in a poor posture, you have ITBS or some factors that predispose you to ITBS, and you have back pain, know that the two can possibly or potentially be related, the problem with the ITBS and the lower back pain. So they can be related to each other. So there are a couple of other points that I have for you for the ITP syndrome. However, the video will be too long if I talk about it here. I have left those points for you in a blog that I have written on this topic. I will leave a link to the blog in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link to the blog will be in my bio. If you're watching in the future and you cannot find it, do message me and I'll send it across to you. Also, if you want to learn more about topics to do with spinal, that is back, neck, and nerve pain, you can have a look at my free community. I will leave a link in the blog that I will leave in the description of this video, and you can join the free community. There are lots of trainings there. There are, I mean, trainings on back pain, neck pain, etc. There are quite a few of them. Alrighty, so if you have any questions, any comments for me, do let me know and I'll happy to help you out. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.